So you don't need the string. I think Ram Lakshmi is sorted. You can just start. I didn't have it yesterday.
Oh yeah. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradari Yasodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Nandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Radha Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradari Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradari Yasodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradari Yasodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Thira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Gokula Nanda, Radha Gokula Nanda, Radha Gokula Nanda, Sri Radhe. Jaya Sita Ram Lakshmana Hanuman, Jaya Sita Ram Lakshmana Hanuman, Sita Ram Lakshmana Hanuman. Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Gaura Premanande. Hare Krishna. Thank you for coming to the temple. Now, the Bhagavad Gita class we are discussing chapter 5, sloka 10. Don't have the screen today. If you kindly face this way, then easier to communicate. Hare Krishna. You got the cushions there if you want to take the cushions. Yeah. Chapter entitled Karma Yoga Action in Krishna Consciousness. Verse 10. I will recite the verse. If you want, you can follow me. Brahmani adaya karmani sangam tyakta karotiya lipyate na sapapena padma patram ivam basa brahmani adaya karmani sangam tyakta karotiya lipyate na sapapena padma patram ivam basa brahmani adaya karmani sangam tyakta karotiya lipyate na sapapena padma patram ivam basa. Word to word translations. Brahmani, unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Adaya, resigning. Yeah, please repeat after me. Karmani, all works. Sangam, attachment. Taktva, giving up. Karoti, performs. Ya, who. Lipyate, is affected. Na, never. Sa, he. Papena, by sin. Padmapatram, a lotus leaf. Iva, like. Ambasa, by the water. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Before reciting translation, I do some prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Translation. One who performs his duty without attachment, surrendering the results unto the Supreme Lord, is unaffected by sinful action, as the lotus leaf is untouched by water. Please repeat after me. One who performs his duty without attachment, surrendering the results unto the Supreme Lord, is unaffected by sinful action, as the lotus leaf is untouched by water. Purport. Here Brahmani means in Krishna consciousness. The material world is sum total manifestation of three modes of material nature, technically called the Pradhana. The Vedic hymns Sarvam He Etat Brahma, Mandaka Upanishad 2, Tasmad Etat Brahma Nama Rupam Annam Cha Jayate, Mukunda Upanishad 119, and in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 14, verse 3, Mama Yonir Mahad Brahma indicate that everything in the material world is a manifestation of Brahman. And although the effects are differently manifested, they are non-different from the cause. In the Ishopanishad, it is said that everything is related to the Supreme Brahman or Krishna, and thus everything belongs to him only. One who knows perfectly well that everything belongs to Krishna, that he is the proprietor of everything, and that therefore everything is engaged in the service of the Lord, naturally has nothing to do with the results of his activities, whether virtuous or sinful. Even one's material body, being a gift of the Lord for carrying out a particular type of action, can be engaged in Krishna consciousness. It is then beyond contamination by sinful reactions. Exactly as the lotus leaf, though remaining in the water, it is not wet. The Lord also says in the Gita 3:30, Mayi sarvani karmani sannyasa. Resign all works unto me, Krishna. The conclusion is that a person without Krishna consciousness acts according to the concept of material body and senses, but a person in Krishna consciousness acts according to the knowledge that the body is the property of Krishna and should therefore be engaged in the service of Krishna. I'm reciting some auspicious prayers, like get the blessings from the Acharyas. Om Agnana Timirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayan Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavancha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitancha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Sri Undavanishwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha kalpa tarubhasya krupa sindhu bhavevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha namo vishnu padaya krishna preshtaya bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Pachatya Desatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktarunda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Thank you for coming to the Bhagavad Gita class. Yada verse again, Brahmani adaya karmani sangam tyaktya karotiya lipyate sara papena padmapatram ivam vasa. One who performs his duty without attachment, surrendering the results unto Supreme Lord, is unaffected by sinful action. Seek the blessings of assembled and unassembled Vaishnavas. Right time, right words comes at right time in right consciousness. Here, Brahmani, in the purport, Prabhupada says Brahmani mainly means Krishna consciousness. Like, what is Krishna consciousness? Suppose we do, usually everyone is working here in this material world, but one thing is the cause of misery is expectation. If we don't expect, we don't suffer. We do our work and leave rest to the Krishna and the God. Whatever he want to do, he can do. But we have to do our work and leave the results to the Krishna. And there are two types of renunciations here. There is Yukta Vairagya and Falga Vairagya. Falga Vairagya means some people, okay, I follow Krishna consciousness, I believe God, but I don't do anything. That is Falga Vairagya. He or she escaping from their karma, their activities. They have to do certain works. And Yukta Vairagya means they do work hard, they earn money, and they do like a normal other people, whatever they do, but give the results to Krishna. That is Yukta Vairagya. Yukta Vairagya, they have the knowledge. What is the God, who is the God, and how do we escape from the birth, death, old age and disease. And like in this material world, everyone thinks that, oh, I'm doing this activity because of my wisdom, my knowledge. But actually, no one is doing their own activity without the help of the God. The Bhagavad Gita verse says, Prakrute kriyamanani kunai karmani sarvasaha ahankara vidumud atma kattaham iti manyate. The translation is, Chapter 3, 27. The spirit soul, bewildered by the influence of false ego, thinks himself the doer of activities that are naturally carried out by three modes of material nature. Here as well, in the purport, it's mentioned three modes of material nature. Everything is carried by three modes, like either goodness, passion, or ignorance. Suppose if you consider a day, we have three modes. The early hours is the mode of goodness. That is before 7 o'clock is the mode of goodness. That's why in the temple we do chanting, Mangalarti, morning prayers. From 7 o'clock everyone is busy going to work, doing their own activities, planning their day, and the phone buzzes like anything. And is a mode of passion. Children are getting ready to schools. And after 4 p.m., from 7 to 3 or 4, I think so. Then after that, mode of ignorance. Everyone energy will go down and they're ready to wind up their activities. It's a mode of ignorance. And in it's mentioned Sangam Takta Karotiya, second line. That means giving up attachment. While we perform our actions, we have to perform our actions. That's why we are here. Because everyone has a certain desire. That's why we are in this world. Otherwise, we don't have to be here. We will be with the God. We are serving Him in Krishna in one way or other way. That's why we have to do our duty and with the diligence and with the full enthusiasm, but we shouldn't be attached to the results. As I said earlier, the expectation is the cause of misery, and we have to. Then we can get rid of our anxiety and frustration. by getting rid of, our expectation. And everything emanates from Krishna. In the Ishopanishad, verse 1 says, Isha Vasham Idam Sarvam. Sorry, just a second. Isha Vasham Idam Sarvam. That means Isha means everything, animate or inanimate, everything comes from Krishna. Everything is control of Krishna. And Bhagavad Gita chapter 10 verse 8 says as well, Aham sarvasya prabhava matte sarva pravratate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. That means, translation is, I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly knows this engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. Yeah, Krishna can give someone, suppose suppose an individual has much money and opulence. He can say, "Oh, this is all my hard work. This is all my." It's not only his hard work, because the wisdom given by the Krishna. Without his favor, nothing will stay. Because Lakshmi, goddess Lakshmi, she serves under the lotus feet of Krishna. And without her mercy, they won't get any blessings of the wealth, and wisdom as well comes from Krishna. That's why whenever he wants to take away, he can take away whatever he wants. That's why His Divine Grace says, Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada says, when Krishna want to give, how much you can hold, because you have only two hands. Krishna has many hands. And when Krishna want to take back, how much you want to hold back, because Krishna can take whatever he wants, he can take it back. He can't hold anything back, because everything rests on Krishna. And he is the proprietor of everything. And the third line, lipyate nasa papena. That means the person who acts in devotion, like whatever he or she does, if they remember Krishna, then they don't affect with the sinful reaction. Suppose while working, practically while working, while doing your work, you can remember Krishna, and like you can choose your work. Suppose if you are on God consciousness or Krishna consciousness, like you choose then before choosing your work, you choose work wisely. Is it beneficial for me? Is it beneficial for the society? Is it beneficial for everyone, or does it cause harm to anyone? Because as a Krishna conscious person, they don't want to cause harm to any individual, like any creature, like a human, like a insects, like plants and everything. What you call now more environmentalist is going on, like we would like to plant more trees, looking after the nature, looking after the land. All these things comes under Krishna consciousness as well, because your consciousness not about only God, consciousness about everything. As one wise person said, before getting Krishna consciousness, first you become consciousness. What's going on around. As like, suppose as the person is working, they are not affected by sinful reactions, whatever they're doing, because they do in conscious way, the Krishna conscious. Same like lotus, as you see, lotus stays in the muddy areas, the watery muddy pools, but it still doesn't affected by the muddy pool or water. Suppose if you keep the water on the lotus flower, the water will flow, go away. It doesn't stay, and it always shines It doesn't matter where it is. And this was actually, it is a practical guide for living a life free from entanglement in the material world. Like, how do we escape from this entanglement? By remembering Krishna, by associating with the devotees, like who are advanced than us, by association the main critical thing in suppose if materially as well, if someone want to grow and achieve their dreams or achieve their billions, whatever their opulence, they want to associate with the like that person individual, not like pauper. The same like as well, if someone want to grow spiritually further, you have to choose wisely. And next is the books. And we have, as you know, Srila Prabhupada has given amazing books, Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. Bhagavad Gita is nothing but the words from the Krishna has given to Arjuna. He's not only spoken to Arjuna, through Bhagavad Gita he spoke to everyone in this Kali Yuga how to lead the life. As you find all the solutions in the Bhagavad Gita. As you know, the famous individuals like Oppenheimer said, I'm the destroyer. And see, then he's chanting. Chanting is the Harir Nama eva kevalam kalo nasteva gatiranyata. That means in this Kali Yuga there is no other way, there is no other way, there is no other way. If anything says 3 times, especially in scriptures it says 3 times, this is the only way to achieve Krishna. The holy name is nothing but Krishna. Sometimes we can't come to temple as we are walking outside. It's not possible to come to the temple. By chanting Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We are associating with Krishna. The meaning of this Maha Mantra is, we are asking Krishna, please engage me in your devotional service. Like we are praying, Hare is the feminine form of Krishna, Radharani. Krishna is the attractive, and Hare is the same Rama's feminine form. Rama is the who gives the spiritual strength and pleasure potency. And D is the diet. Whatever be consciousness what you eat, whatever you eat, offer to the Krishna, then it will become prasad. And Bhagavad Gita chapter 3 says, Yagna Shishta Shina Shanto Machante Sarva Kelabishi Bhujante Tvam Magam Papa E Pachante Atma Karana. That means whatever you consume, that's all sin without offering to Krishna. Because someone say I'm a vegetarian, but still while making the bhoga, while cooking, you unintentionally kill so many microbes. You can't see those microbes while heating up the flame and other things. Everything. Yeah, this is the karma you get it while cooking as well. But if you offer to Krishna, because that's for the pleasure for Krishna we are making, and like Bhagavad Gita chapter 9 it says, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam Yome Bhakta Prayachati Tad Bhaktaham Upahadam Yatnavi Prayata Atmanaha. Like whatever you offer with the love. You can offer with the love, like a Patram means leaf, Pushpam, flower, fruit, water. Yeah, here Krishna has everything. He doesn't look for your offering, he looks for the love. If you know the like prasadam prayers, offering prayers you can do. Otherwise you can pray to Krishna in front of the photo or picture of or the deity you have. And whatever prepare, you can give it to the Krishna. Please take my offering. And after a few minutes he can honor the prasad. And he doesn't eat meat, he doesn't eat eggs, he doesn't eat fish, he eats only the fresh things like fruits, like so many grains cooking. Yeah. Yeah, practically we can do many things related to this verse, as I mentioned, as how to be away from the detachment. And by following the Krishna, like Krishna consciousness, and the good thing is, if someone in their life, end of the life, suppose they remember Krishna, as Krishna says here, he says to Arjuna, Yam yam vapi smaranam bhavam tvajante ante kalevaram. At the end of the lives, whoever remember my form or remember his name, and they definitely go to wherever he resides, where Krishna resides in Vaikunta. There's so many Vaikuntas. If you see, that's the one. That's the Golok Vrindavan. That's the behind picture. That's the highest. Like Ayodhya Dham there. The different dhams, basing on whatever the individual consciousness. And there's a one verse, Neha Bikramunasosi Pratyavona Vidiyate. Suppose you can ask a question, okay, if I don't remember Krishna at the end of the life, but still I'm trying to practice like all the rules and regulations by chanting his holy name, by following, eating prasad. But that's the reason Krishna says, Neha Bikramunasasi Pratyavodo Nividiyate Swalpasya Dharmasya Trayato Mahate Bayat. Swalpa means very little advancement in this endeavor. You can escape from the greatest fear, that is death. Like while leaving the planet, whatever you do, like this devotional service, like suppose if you do like 50%, then next life you don't need to start from zero. You can start from 51, because as you born, either you born as an aristocrat family or you born as a devotee kid, then it will be easier, to start Krishna consciousness from younger age. That's why you can see there's small children here in the temple room. They play nice mridanga, kirtan, and they are like a saints. They know so much of knowledge because they did in previous life. They are continuing wherever they left off. Yeah, there is no diminution and no loss in this activity. But in material, if someone acquire so much wealth, someone acquire so much opulence, still they don't take anything back while they were leaving the planet. The only thing what we take it back while leaving the planet is like devotional service, whatever, like Krishna's holy name, all these, because our soul is eternal. While leaving the planet, we still remember this next life as well. And Krishna will create next life like that. It's easier to follow Krishna consciousness. And there, and what else? And one second practicality is relationships. In our interactions with family, friends, and colleagues, we often have expectations. We expect love from them. That's the cause of misery. But if you do give the love without expectation, like sharing, like Krishna consciousness, sharing the prasad, then you feel happy because you're not expecting anything. That's the cause of misery. Main thing. And daily chores, while doing daily chores, whatever, like cleaning, washing clothes, and preparing food, as mentioned earlier, you can remember chanting the holy name, or you can play the kirtan. There's so many. If you go to the YouTube, you can still listen to the holy name. And handling success and failure. And if success comes, you will be overwhelmed with happiness. If the failure comes, you will be going down with the depression or sorrow. Rather than that, you will be like stability. If you remember Krishna, if everything is on the Krishna's mercy, then you won't feel either overwhelmed or depression or sorrow. You'll be always same. Because what's the difference between the spiritual world and material world? There's only one thing. Anyone can say, any guess? Spirituality and the only thing is consciousness. Everything is same. जय श्री श्री राधा गोकुलानंद की जय, सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान की जय, गौरनिताय की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. And one thing is, by material life is to get happiness is impossible, but spiritual life is difficult but is easy. It is simple but not easy. Yeah, just you need to follow the process and you get eternal happiness. That's why you can see in the kirtan everyone dancing with raising hands. And where the happiness comes from Satchidananda. Ishvara Parama Krishna is always Satchidananda. Our as it is, he's always eternally happy, eternally blissful. Everyone want to be blissful and happy. No one want to be misery and angry, isn't it? Yeah. We take everything from Krishna. He's always blissful. We want the blissful happiness. Yeah. But how do we get the happiness? Most of the people are looking in the wrong place. The right place is doing service to Krishna and service to devotees and following 4 principles, regulative principles. Is mentioned in the scriptures, like no meat eating, no illicit sex, no gambling, no intoxication. These are the things where Kali resides. Why we have to avoid? Because when Parikshit Maharaj, when Kali is a personality, actual personality in the Dwapar Yuga, Kali is trying to kill a ox, think cow or ox. He's cutting the legs of the cow. Then Parikshit Maharaj has seen. At that time, the king of the empire he's not only looking after the human beings, he's looking after everything, whatever in his country, he has to look after, he has to protect them. Then he went with the sword to kill that Kali personality. Then Kali asked him, I'm one of the living member here in your country. What shall I do? You can't kill me. You tell me where can I reside? I can reside. Then Parikshit Maharaj said, you can't reside anywhere here. You go some. Then where shall I reside? Then he has mentioned all these 4 places. Like wherever intoxication happens, wherever the gambling happens, wherever the illicit sex happens, and wherever the meat eating happens, you can reside there. At that time in Dwapara Yuga, these things completely, everyone follows these principles. Then Kali asked the Parikshit Maharaj, then where can I stay? There's nothing is happening anywhere. Okay, you can stay in the gold, where the greediness is more. Gold means greediness. Like they want to acquire more and more. You can stay there as well. Yeah, that's the Kali. How do we escape from the Kali? By following the regulative principles, by chanting the holy name, by associating with the devotees, by hearing to the Bhagavad Gita, reading Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. Is all the pastimes of Krishna and his devotees. Yeah. Yeah, in the purport it says, therefore Arjuna, while fighting on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, he is simply carrying out the orders of Krishna. No, this is all. In Kurukshetra as well, if you see, Arjuna, as his friends and devotee, he is protected because of Krishna only. Otherwise, Krishna said to him, just do your duty rather than escaping from the war. He doesn't want to go for the war because he doesn't want to kill his relatives and his teacher. then he has instructed better to do your duty rather than going away from him. That's the this verse says as well. You have to do your duty. Don't expect the results. Results leave it to me. I will I will give the results, whatever required, whatever is best for the individual, best for that situation. Yeah. Hare Krishna. That's from my end. Any questions or reflections? Hare Krishna.
So when we decide for an action, we have some kind of motivation. So where exactly is the borderline between you are going for this action, we have this motivation, and then we decide, no, we are not interested in the result, we just perform it. Where exactly does this line stay? Because if we go for an action, we want to have the result for it. We expect that this will give some positive results. So we are interested after all in the results. So how exactly do we get this meaning of being non-attached to the result?
Non-attached.
Yeah.
To detach from the results. Yeah, it's a process. You won't get right away. Yeah. Everyone is everyone is attached to results. Otherwise there is no motivation to work. It is a process. Slowly you will detach from results by following Krishna consciousness. It takes some time. It's not like overnight thing. By listening to the different seniors, by associating with them, then you can slowly get detachment from the material things, detachment from the work. Hare Krishna.
Just on that point, if you also know that the work is being done for Krishna's pleasure, and the result is for his enjoyment, then with that consciousness there is automatic detachment from the result. So if I know why I'm doing something, or who exactly it's for, then detachment is more possible. But if I'm working purely for myself, then of course a result will come. Now I have to decide where does this result go? Is it for me to enjoy, or is it for the Lord's service?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, desires. As a desire, if we do our work for the desires to please the Krishna, then you won't feel depressed. You won't feel, you won't feel depressed. You won't feel angry, misery. If we suppose for our pleasure, then obviously, if it doesn't happen, then you feel, you feel upset. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. We have Gaura Arati in 10 minutes. And Hare Krishna.
Not anymore, Vinny. A little bit later. Maybe in May we'll do some Ramayana. In May we'll do one Ramayana. Yeah. Okay. So we have some minutes before Arti. We're just going to read a little bit. Thank you. So we're reading from Beyond Birth and Death. Chapter 4, The Sky Beyond the Universe. Srila Prabhupada quotes from Bhagavad Gita 8.22. Purushasa paraparta bhaktya labhyastvananyaya yasyantastani bhutani yena sarvam idam tatam. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is greater than all, is attainable by unalloyed devotion. What does unalloyed mean? Anybody knows? The word unalloyed? It means unmixed. Unmixed, like pure. Like you have an alloy, a metal alloy. It means it's a mixture. So unalloyed means unmixed. Unmixed devotion means there's nothing in it for me separate from Krishna's interest. I do some service, I perform devotion towards Krishna, and I'm not looking to gain something exclusively for myself. Right? I'm not motivated by fruitive results, karma, nor am I motivated by knowledge for the sake of knowledge. Rather, my devotion is unalloyed. It is purely for Krishna's satisfaction, Guru's satisfaction. So, the Bhagavad Gita 8.22 says that the Lord, who is greater than all, is attainable by unalloyed devotion. Pure devotion. Although He is present in His abode, He is all-pervading. And everything is situated within Him. There's a lot to unpack here. This portrait opposite us, opposite me, it's very nice because it's a depiction of the spiritual world and the material world. Krishna is residing in His abode, Goloka Vrindavan, which you can see depicted by the pink lotus flower in this particular picture. The Lord is also residing in so many other planets in the spiritual world, and each of those planets is called Vaikuntha Loka, that place where there's no anxiety. The Lord also expands in His Purusha incarnations and enters into the material universes. So although He is present in His own abode, His own spiritual abode, He is all-pervading. He is all-pervading by His own energies, and He is all-pervading by the expansion of His Supersoul feature, which enters into every atom. Personally, Krishna enters into every atom as the Paramatma. And everything is situated within Him. Whenever Mother Yashoda looked inside the mouth of Lord Krishna, she saw everything within His mouth, including herself looking in His mouth. So, Krishna enters into everything, and at the same time, everything is within Krishna. This is God. Andantarastapanu chayantarastam. He resides in every atom as the Supersoul. And yet, all of the universes which contain every atom reside within Him. If we are at all interested in reaching that supreme abode, the process is indicated here. and it is bhakti. Bhaktya means devotional service, submission to the Supreme Lord. The root word for bhaktya is bhaj, which means service. The definition of bhakti given in the Narada Pancharatra is freedom from designation. Okay, this is an interesting definition of bhakti, or devotion, and that is freedom from designation. If one is determined to get out of all the designations that are attached to the pure spirit soul, and which arise due to the body, and are always changed when the body is changed, one can attain to bhakti. So if we're determined to become free of all temporary designations, right? I am man, I am woman, I am child, I am adult, I am black, I am white, I am American, Indian, Australian, Russian, Argentinian. These are all designations. They're simply names. I am clever, I am qualified, I am poor, I am wealthy, I am weak, I am strong. This is just temporary designations. They belong to the body. They have nothing to do with the Atma, the soul. So if one is determined to get out of all the designations that are, that presently we attach to ourselves, and which arise due to this body, and all these designations change anyway when the body is changed. Right now I may be Russian, but next life I may be Ukrainian. Change of body, change of designation. If one is determined to get out of these designations, then one can attain to bhakti. Bhakti, or devotion to the Lord, is realizing that one is pure spirit and not matter at all. Our real identity is not this body, which is simply a covering of the spirit, but our real identity is dasa, servant of Krishna. When one is situated in his real identity and is rendering service to Krishna, he is a bhakta. Hrishikena Hrishikesha Sevanam. When our senses are free from material designations, we will utilize them in the service of the master of the senses, Hrishikesha, or Krishna. So Hrishikesha is a name for Krishna, which means the master of the senses. Everyone has senses. Actually, they're not our senses, they belong to Krishna. Therefore the Bhagavad Gita says the Lord has his hands and legs everywhere, because he is the owner of the hands and the legs. I think that I am the owner of these hands and legs. No. I am a little soul riding in this machine of a body, and Krishna, as the super soul situated in every body, is the actual, the factual owner of this body, including all of its senses. So he's Hrishikesha, the master of the senses. And bhakti means to engage these senses in the service of their master. Hrishikena Hrishikesha Sevanam. To engage the senses in the service of the master of the senses. So that will happen when we become free from all material designations. When we stop thinking in terms of this temporary body, but start thinking in terms of, actually, I am Krishna Nityadas, eternal servant of Krishna. Jivara Swarupahoy, Krishnera Nityadas. Tatasta Shakti, Beda Bed Prakash. I belong to Krishna, I am his marginal energy, simultaneously one with Krishna and different from him. I am one with Krishna in the sense of quality. I have the same spiritual quality as God, but I'm very tiny and he is unlimited. So I'm different at the same time. One in quality and different in quantity, quantitatively different. So that is my constitutional position, Jivera Swarupahoy, Krishnera Nityadas, an eternal servant of Krishna. I belong to Krishna. I only exist because Krishna has decided that I should exist. Krishna has I hesitate to use terms that imply coming into being, because the soul never comes into being, right? Ajo, nitya, shashvato, yam purano. The soul is unborn. The soul never has a beginning or an end. But the only reason the soul exists is because Krishna exists. And I'm a little part of Krishna. So, my existence is inextricably connected to Krishna. I have no separate existence. And I'm a part of Krishna, and therefore I belong to Krishna, and therefore I exist to cooperate in His enjoyment. It's as simple as that. That is the purpose of my existence, to cooperate in the enjoyment of the complete whole, because I'm a part. A part does not function separately from the whole. If you take a little screw out of the machine, the washing machine, whatever, it ceases to have purpose. If it's just lying on the floor without being attached to the machine in its specific role, it no longer has any value, any purpose. But as soon as it's placed back into the machine, according to how its design, according to how it was intended, now it is fulfilling its purpose. So naturally, as little parts of Krishna, our purpose is to cooperate with the whole, in the purpose of the whole. This service is not slave labor. This service is loving reciprocation. Krishna agrees to serve his devotee because of the love that exists between the Lord and his devotee. As Rupa Goswami points out,